what you thought you knew from the shed of dreams, the Leak in Review.
Welcome back to the Leak in Review, getting tons of love on the program, and we've got a stockpile of shows coming your way, including Ewan Curry from the Sheepdogs. He has a new solo project. And Dan Mangan, who just released Natural Light. Had a great conversation with him. You can find that in the Leak and Review offerings very, very shortly, if not now, depending on when you picked up this program. Today's guest on the program, or guests, is Fionn, who hail from the greater Vancouver area. We'll call it White Rock, because that's exactly where they're from. They've had an incredible rise. Started out playing acoustic covers on the street at like 10 or 12. Did writing camps with other writers, Nashville, LA. And most recently had a viral moment with their cover of System of a Down's Toxicity, a song that I believe was released when both Brianne and Alanna were 2 or 3 years old. And they had never heard the song prior to committing to cover it. Really cool. You can find the video of that on YouTube right now, and I guarantee you're going to like it. We check in with them in just a bit. Some news. The Who has announced the final North American tour, The Song Is Over tour. The band The Who officially announced their farewell North American tour, which will be paying tribute to the 1971 song. It's going to kick off August 16 at MSG, New York City, and wraps September 28th. Major cities include Toronto, Vancouver, LA, Chicago. This is going to be the last one, for sure. Not like Kiss. When Kiss says everything is done, you know Kiss is going to keep going till they're 200. It was only just a couple weeks ago when Roger Daltrey, who is now 81, revealed that doctors have issued him a health warning regarding his vocal endurance. His throat specialist advised him to take a day off after every gig and a longer break after every 3 performances to avoid damaging his voice. And it was just a few weeks prior to this that Daltrey also announced that he's got deteriorating eyesight and hearing. And lastly, the Tall Pines Music and Arts Festival, who is putting Muskoka center stage with music, community, and immersive local experiences, has announced single-day tickets for the festival, which hits Gravenhurst Gull Lake Park July 18 and 19, are available now. Matt Good and his band will headline, along with the Strumbellas, Pursuit of Happiness, Buck 20, Moist is going to shut things down on Sunday night, Sloan, Chaclair, and more. It's going to be good. I'll be there, likely wearing shorts.
Where there's a heartbeat and a stage, there's an artist set to perform. This is the Leak and Review on tour.
On Tour, brought to you by Pecan Agency, putting bands and fans together worldwide. We mentioned this earlier. The Who have announced their final farewell. Well, Guns N' Roses are also out on the road. And maybe this is going to be their farewell. August 5, check them out in Moncton, New Brunswick on the 21st. You can find them at Boston's Fenway Park, Chicago, Vancouver, and more dates, all in and around that. And Metallica, who I just saw only a couple weeks ago, and doesn't matter if you're a fan or not, it's absolutely incredible. They continue their M72 World Tour featuring no repeat weekends, which means the set lists and support acts change completely for each show. June 6th, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida, and June 20 at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Go to The Leak Talk. You got to see the videos that I captured on TikTok from my experience at the Metallica show. Coming up, a conversation with Fionn.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, The Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
Does Fionn mean well?
We totally mean well.
I'd say so. I mean, with these faces,
Alanna and
feels like we
Brianne
don't.
are here, and this is great. You've got a lot of things going on, and I know that because you're family, it doesn't make it any easier. I think that family is great for a lot of things, but then it can also lead to drama that doesn't need to be there. Because if you guys, I promise, every family member that I've seen, the way they act together is both beautiful and like, oh, it's the family members who are creating this fuss, not the third member of the band, not the drummer again, not the keyboardist. Are you guys kind of like that where you're a yin and yang, so to speak, where things are going so well and you're on the same level and then you're just going at each other because you know what you can get away with being siblings?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I think that for the most part we get along, but we do have we'll fight over the silliest things.
Sure.
Even just now when she sat down on the stool and I asked her to get my phone and then she's like, you get it. And it's just stuff like that will escalate if we're alone. But it's so not deep and I feel like it never lasts.
You know, I think it's because when we were kids, we slept in twin beds, in the same room. And Brianne's bed was right next to the fan switch. But I think for a year, she would get me. She'd be like, Alanna, can you turn on the fan? And I was like,
You would just do it.
I was whipped.
She would,
I would get up, I would walk around the whole room, turn on the fan. And one day, it took a year. I think I was 7. And I all of a sudden was like, wait a minute, your bed is right next to the light switch.
You could reach over without exiting your bed and hit that switch, but you're asking me to walk around.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I have to lay down boundaries.
I was always fearful of siblings because they kind of had this, channeled energy. And that they were, if they wanted to, they were going to take you down. There would be no negotiation. They'd be like, we're going to have to take this person out. And the sibling would be
Especially
like, yeah, great
twins.
idea.
Actually, that's the flip side of it. It's we do maybe fight, but
we're on each other's team. Actually, we got in, I think on our tour in the fall, we got in one big fight.
This was with JJ
This
Wild?
was with JJ Wild.
Did you fight her?
No, she's the nicest person ever.
it was the other kind of fight. It was
between the twin fight, but it was in the hotel room at night and we got in this really, I don't even remember what it was about, but we were just so mad at each other. And we were just about to have a break in Toronto for a couple days and her boyfriend was coming. He was flying in to visit because it was halfway through the tour. And I was like, I don't want to see you. I can't wait to be by myself. I just I'm so sick of you. And, vice versa.
You're fine.
That little meh. And then the day goes by and
I feel like I need okay, so the day goes by. Brianne was really happy to be away from me. I was like, whatever. So I'm going on a date with my boyfriend that night. We went to Taroni's. Is that what it's called? The pasta place?
Yeah.
It was so good. But we're sitting there and I get a phone call from her. And I'm like, Brianne's calling me. And I pick it up and I'm like, hello. And she's like, oh, hey, what's up? And I'm like,
nothing happened.
Nothing. I'm like, I have a glass of wine. We're on a date. And I'm like, I'm just on a date. What about you? And she's like, oh, just chilling. Can we meet up later? And I'm like, I'm on a date. You just told me you never wanted to see my face ever again.
It lasted 8 hours.
It lasted less, I'd say. I think it was maybe 5 hours.
Yeah.
But we met up.
And then we were
Inevitably.
having a great time. And that's just kind of the way it works. Yeah. But I think that's kind of normal. Our lives are so pushed together. We're always even on tour, we're sharing the room the whole time. And it's just only human, I think, to get a little bit on each other's nerves.
No, I think you got to release some energy somehow, right? And who better to do it with than someone who can actually receive that energy? You do it with anybody else that you work with, it's an HR problem. You can choke each other out at night and, no one's going to complain about it. No one reaches out and says, no, it's over. We've been fighting. No, it's fine. I was watching a lot of your videos and I would say you made a comment when you first walked in that you did a low budget video. Mm-hmm. I don't think they don't look low budget at all. You guys you're good at it. I would say, no, I mean it. Fionn is
I don't know a lot of people who want to do that. There's a lot of people in bands who despise doing that. They don't like doing social media. They don't like, but there's something about your videos where it's like, I think you actually like doing this. You got a little bit of a knack for it. Do you think that comes from the fact that you guys have been performing together for, well over a decade now?
I think, you know what? I
Always
think
being on show, always being on stage.
Yeah, like I think we have always kind of, we're like, this is like hippy dippy, but we're actually Leo risings, which is like in our star chart, like we're double Leos, and like Leos are very like,
Yeah, very like we don't mind some like having the attention on us. We're not like attention seekers, but like we're not like really shy. But I think with social media though, that really came with time, because I look back at some of our like TikToks from 2020. One of my biggest fears is if the band is successful and those arise, I will be so embarrassed because they were so cringe, like they were so bad. But I kind of have this feeling with social media where it's like it feels so, I don't think it feels normal or comfortable for anybody that starts making videos. And I think that's, you have to like go through this like pit of fire where your content is just like not great. And then eventually you get the knack for it. But it's not natural to be like speaking to a camera like it's a person, like, and we would like just like disagree in like video. Like I'd be like, I look bad or I look weird. And she's like, it's fine, or vice versa. So it took a long time to get into the groove of like, I think it's about finding what you're comfortable with and like making it fun for yourself instead of thinking like, oh, how are people going to perceive this?
Right. It's kind of breaking down your own barrier and just like being cool with what's being presented. I tell people that, I can't go out tonight. I got to work on my TikTok. And they're like, whatever, crazy person. You're going to go work on your TikToks. Lunatic.
Relatable.
yeah.
You guys grew up in a music family, right? You grew up in White Rock, BC.
Yeah,
Yes.
we did. Yeah.
You grew up at a time when it was easy to drive from White Rock to Vancouver. You wouldn't know that because you were young, but now to get from White Rock to Vancouver, it's like an hour and a half, unless you got a good wind. But music has changed a lot in that area, in that region, because it's not really accessible by comparison. There's not a lot of venues and that. But you started playing music. I think were you not just busking at a really young age?
Yeah, we started busking at Granville Island in Vancouver when we were 12, and then we'd spend the summers busking like I think at least 4 times a week and at White Rock Beach.
By
the Washington Grill.
Yeah, actually, we used to play at the Washington Grill.
We used to play at the Washington Grill. I love that you know the Washington Grill. We used to busk though outside the like where the train is not actually a train station anymore. It's a museum, but like where that is.
It was kind of a vibe, and then a train would go by, and like all of the money would like blow out of the case, and we'd have to be running down.
Yeah, like chasing $5 bills.
Yeah.
Now you got to do Apple Pay.
No.
Because no one has dollar bills. So you
True.
gotta just tap this when we're doing
ancient.
when we're busking. So yeah, you're busking out on the street and when you first brought that up to the family, I'm guessing Dad was cool with it because he was kind of like a traveling gypsy with the bands, was he not? Like Celtic bands from Ireland or something like that?
Yeah. He immigrated to Canada in the 70s in an Irish show band because this bar called the Blarney Stone in Gastown in Vancouver.
Sounds legit for an Irish band to stop by.
Yeah. They used to like sponsor bands from Ireland to come, and they put them on like a contract for a couple months to be the house band. So they brought my dad's band over, and I think our dad was just like looking for an adventure. I don't think now people leave Ireland like it's so in the culture for people to like move abroad and stuff. But I think back in those days that wasn't really the case as much. So he's like, oh, he'd never left Ireland. He was like, this is awesome, and he came and he just loved it. And they all ended up staying in Canada for the rest of their lives, and they like toured all across the country playing in like Holiday Inns, and like they had like a big painted green school bus, and they all like wore matching fits.
Like they wore like ABBA jumpsuits, but like green.
How many people were in the band?
I think maybe like 5
guys
6.
in a band and probably a 48 passenger school bus.
Yeah.
I think it was actually an old school bus that they like
They
ripped
kind of
the seats
converted
out
it.
of
I
and
think
converted.
I think they also had. If I'm not mistaken, I think they traveled with they honestly probably traveled with a lot more people than we even did on tour. 'Cause I think back then you could make a lot more money touring than you can now.
Sure, and there was a lot more stuff that you needed to bring with you. Where now you can just plug in to everything that's in the venues. They have all the PAs and they have they got the mics and they got the stands and so on. But so you guys are like, you're involved in a musical family. Dad's not playing music anymore, but there's music around the house, and you guys start playing at a really young age, right? Are you playing in school, or was it just started taking lessons like when you're 6 or something like that?
We started choir when we were 6, and then we always wanted to be on stage, so we'd always sign ourselves up to sing at like the Christmas concert in school, like to have like a little solo moment.
Yeah, we were just like very like we really wanted to be performers. I think maybe it was about hearing the stories of our dad being in the band, but also just like we just love to sing. And so we, like, our mom, she was actually the big pusher. She's a very driven person. She owns a music school in White Rock as well, but it's like classical music. So she didn't have much experience with like the band life, but she was the one who got us busking, and she was like, if you want to, she took us seriously when we were like, we want to do music. She's like, well, if you want to do it, this is what you got to do to get good.
How did she know that?
I don't
feel
know.
like some people just got it. She should have been an A&R person or something, honestly, or like an artist development person.
She just kind of like, she just had that business mindset where she was like, oh, this is like how you get good. Like, it wasn't like, oh, like just do it for fun. She was like, okay, well, you want this as a career, then we're going to make it happen.
Somebody coaching their kid, like if they wanted to play basketball or something, like you need practice basketball all the time every day after school. It was like that, but with music, which is
it's kind of like helpful. Because you guys already had the instruments around. Instead of you guys saying, hey, I want to buy a new guitar, there was one to probably just grab. And if you really want to take advantage of this, you got to play it a lot. And let's not do it half-ass.
I think it's because she was a music teacher as well. So it was like classical piano. You have to practice. Like, I think she said when she was a kid, she'd practice like every day after school for like 3 to 4 hours. So it was like that mindset, but with like pop. Like we were doing country music at the time when we started. So it was like that, but with country music.
She like really instilled that like classical mindset of practice like every single day. And we would like write out lists of songs to learn for busking, like covers. We would be working on our covers every day and like playing them through like all the time.
Were they like mom and dad approved covers?
Yes.
Well, because I think, and I say that too, because if they have a musical background, they probably understand what might work and they understand familiarity and stuff. Whereas kids are like, I'm going to play my favorite song. Meanwhile, it's something that's going to push people away as opposed to bring people in.
Yeah.
So what were some of the songs that you were playing when in the early days?
Teach Your Children, Crosby, Stills and Nash,
I was
like
just gonna say that.
Carole King. But at the time, I remember like we thought that like I was like, Mom, like I don't want to sing this. Like she's like, people will love it, and they did. Especially when we sang like in White Rock, 'cause it's like a lot of retirees, so they were like they loved it. They're like, how do you know
Isn't
this
it like
song?
Newlyweds and Nearly Deads?
Yeah, that's
true.
such the vibe.
It's kind of like Victoria. That's what they say about Victoria, right? I shouldn't say that. I had a place on Habgood in White Rock.
Oh, really?
Years ago. You guys were like 0 at the time. We didn't meet.
Okay.
That's so cool.
That's so cool that people don't usually. Well, actually, more people do know White Rock than I think. Like, I think to me, I'm like, oh, it's this town that nobody knows. But that's kind of silly, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is a city. Actually,
It's like kind of a tourist destination. Is it a tourist destination? I don't know.
I guess
Maybe.
It's a great spot because it barely rains,
Yeah,
as
true.
opposed to everywhere else in the Lower Mainland. Like if you're living in Port Coquitlam, you are just going to live with rain. And meanwhile, you'll talk to your friends in White Rock who will be like, yeah, we're barbecuing right now. Like in this pouring rain. Nope, not raining here. And it's so close. But
It's so true. Yeah.
But so you're playing music. We're talking about weather. You're playing music now. When do you make this transition where, okay, you're going to school, you're in high school. Are you playing in the band? It's a Catholic school, so I'm guessing there's lots of music that is played in the school, right?
Yeah, we never played in the school band. I think because we were just like so busy with our band. Like, so we were doing country music at the time, and we were taking like lots of trips to Nashville. Like our mom was taking us, and we were doing like open mics and writers rounds, and like working with people at the Nashville Songwriters Association, which was all really good experience. But I just think we were like so focused on that, and then like gigging every weekend, that we never really got involved in like school band or school like extracurriculars.
We did only in grade 12. We joined the school play, and it was Cinderella, and we played the Ugly Stepsisters. And that was like that was like our like one thing we did in school. But
Yeah.
I feel like the rest of the years, like
Well, you were typecast. That's not fair. That's not. How dare they?
time. We were stoked.
Honestly, there was really no other option. They couldn't have cast us as anything else.
Yeah, it's
We
true.
were a shoo-in.
Wait,
were.
so is mom kind of like a closet? I wish I was a pop artist, or I wish I was out performing more as opposed to running a school of music and stuff like that. Because she seems like she's really managing you.
She
Has a lot of wherewithal. We're going to Nashville. We're going to meet a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't think so. Honestly, I think it was just more of like a business mindset. Like I don't think she would have personally
She
wanted it
is
for
not-
herself.
No, she's like really shy. Like she is not a performer. She wouldn't do that. So I think it was more just like she's very driven. So she was.
And
just
honestly, it gave us a good start. Like once we got signed to 604 when we were like 18, we like signed with their management. And we kind of like continued on like ourselves from there. But like it was good to have that push when we were like kids.
Yeah, and also like signing with a label. As much as you had a push from kids, a label has all the contacts.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it's a lot easier to open up a lot of doors for you. But have you been back to Nashville since those early days? Have you been writing with other people?
We went to LA a couple times. So we were kind of, I think because we switched genres and we like changed to a little bit more like pop rock, like it felt a bit more feasible to go to LA, but
also closer. But
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back to Nashville now. I think it's in my plans. I feel like I'm like ready to go back. It's a really cool town, and we learned a lot there. It was really great. So
You would know Terry Clark, the country artist.
Mm-hmm.
She went to Nashville. Her parents let her move there when she was like 16, and that's like maybe in the 80s or so. And they're like, okay, you want to go do it, go do it. And that was it. She was on her own, and she's playing all the honky tonks as a 16-year-old kid, learning her chops and all that, which is
that's cool.
and wildly bizarre. Like I can't
Yeah.
imagine any parent okaying that as an idea in today's world.
I feel like that's just so
Yeah.
young. Like if I think about myself at 16, like I feel like we just were we were also sheltered going to Catholic school. So I think like we were like 16 going on like 13.
yeah,
Like
I just couldn't imagine like having the maturity at that age to be able to, and like the confidence to be going out and playing at like honky tonks and like.
Well, maybe it's what you don't know, right? Because
True,
we
yeah.
have so much social media access today, and we see the good and the bad and all that stuff that's involved. Where maybe if you just in the 80s you end up in Nashville, what you don't know is a blessing, because you just go up on stage, you perform. Maybe to Terry Clark, Nashville might have been like Sault Ste. Marie. She maybe didn't know that there was a difference at the time.
Yeah.
But
It's a cool story though.
I like though that you guys are working with others, because I'm sure it really opened up your eyes on how you're approaching music and maybe how there's different opportunities and things to look at. Did LA make you the more rock band, or were you more the rock band going in, or maybe a bit of both?
I think we were already kind of going in that direction. Like our first record was kind of more folky, but then we did a folk tour and realized that we kind of wanted because a lot of our songs we'd write would be a little bit more upbeat, but if we were just playing with like mandolin and guitar, we couldn't really
Give it the energy that we wanted, like to play shows that had more energy. We still love we in most of our sets we'll still bring out an acoustic and do like one or two that are just like acoustic, but
we just realized because we were doing a tour and it was basically like a sit down tour where you'd get up on stage and everybody would just be silent, and it would just be like you, acoustic guitar, mic, like dead silent. So I don't know, I just remember thinking like, man, it'd be fun if some people were like moshing. I don't know, I mean they couldn't mosh to that, but it'd be fun if some people were standing up or like a bit of dancing, because that's what I like when I go to shows. So I think that we then decided to go a little bit more on a pop route during COVID, but decided that we missed the organic element, because like we grew up like playing acoustic guitar, mandolin.
it just felt weird. Like we did a few and that was also during COVID when we did the pop records, so it was like we weren't really playing shows, but when we did, I just remember finding it like weird. I didn't like not playing my instrument, and I was like, this just doesn't feel like me, I was like, I'm glad I tried it, but once we started trying to like play those songs live, we were like, we miss our instruments. So then we brought it back to like, that's kind of where we've landed now, is like sort of, we just enjoy like the rock side of things because we can play our instruments, it's high energy.
Feel the volume. Feel the bass like actually shaking your pant leg and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I mean, I remember during COVID too, like you weren't around anything, and I saw this band under extreme secrecy start writing some new stuff and fully plugged in, and I was like, oh my God,
I've missed this. Like
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. So now you've got a bunch of singles that you've been releasing singles. It seems like every 2 or 3 months right now. It's like the singles package. Banshee just came out. And my question is, did your parents know that there was such language in the song before Banshee was released?
Oh.
Did you ever clear that stuff with it? Or are you like, hey, this is what we do. We say fuck a lot.
Well, I think like
I don't
our
think
mom
they
does not like it.
I
Like,
don't think they like it.
because she's just like that. Like she's very like, that's crude, you know. She's also like owns a classical music school, so it's just like she doesn't get it. But
I
like
think Dad, even though he does, he's an Irishman, like he swears, but like I think he doesn't love it. Like we have like there's a few songs on the record because it was like the record coming up, like basically like I had a really bad breakup, so I have a lot of like really bitter, angry songs, with a lot of swears. And
The best part of breaking up is writing songs.
I mean,
It's
they kind
therapy.
of
it
was therapy, and I'm like, I'm happy with it, but it definitely is like, I remember there were a few where I was like, I'm kind of nervous to show this to Dad, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think he liked it because I think it was a little too crude for him. But I'm like, Dad, I'm in a rock band now. This is just
You have
the
to
path,
accept
and he
it.
accepted that. He was like, okay.
Well, he probably sees you as still 12-year-olds busking on the railway tracks out in White Rock, British Columbia. Where does Fionn land this summer?
This summer, we're finishing up our album and kind of just getting all the assets ready for that. So working on that, but also we're playing festivals in the Lower Mainland in like Vancouver. We're playing Riverfest Allura here in
Right, that's
Ontario.
in Southern Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
Are you listing yourself still as a folk band? Because I see that every once in a while, like even, and we'll talk about this, but it's a lot of people that call you folk pop twins and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know if you were ever really folk pop. Like it seems to me, like I remember 4 years ago, there was stuff that was coming back as rock, but everyone has to put you in a genre, right? Jelly Roll was in a genre, and now he's like the biggest country person in the world, but nobody played country music like Jelly Roll did when his stuff came out.
That's true. I feel
Yeah.
like for us, I think it's because our music is very harmony heavy, and like it still is, even though we have like the more rock elements. And maybe I think it's maybe just the sound of our voices.
Like
Maybe
people
they're
just
a bit,
like will say that, and I'm like, really? Like I don't hear it, but I guess
I'm okay. I like it. I'm okay with it.
I would
I'm kind of
consider
okay with
us-
anything that
I think
anybody calls.
yeah, I think I would consider us more rock though, with like a hint of folk sometimes.
You got to be
but-
labeled something. Look, the Jazz Fest brings in Nickelback and Iron Maiden. So everything's getting weird. We listen to more music today than we ever did before. And when it comes to genres, we don't listen to just one radio station. We listen to every song in the world as we have access to it. And I think you just have to champion it for yourself and go out and crush it. System of a Down, Toxicity. This band, I believe they released that song when you're 3 years old. So you've been listening to it since birth. That video is so good that for people listening right now, you covered this. It was part of a program that is online on YouTube where you get thrown into a studio and you got the whole band and they say, here's the song we want you to kind of reinterpret for yourself. You had never heard the song. You reinterpret it as a folk rock song compared to its really aggressive rock. First time you've ever heard it, as I understand, which is cool. Then it takes off viral. So what are people saying to you online when they see, oh my God, you guys covered that song? Has System of a Down reached out and said, will you come play with us?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
The drummer shared it, which was cool. I thought that was kind of cool. I think we actually, because we were raised definitely more like our parents are like a little bit older. So like kind of more like 70s, like early 80s music, like 90s, 2000s. Like we kind of we weren't really exposed to that time period, especially not like metal music, because my parents are definitely not metalheads. So we, I'm sorry to say, but I'd actually never heard of System of a Down, which makes me feel kind of lame. But everybody, because my boyfriend played in the video with us and he was like stoked. He was so excited. So was Arthur. They were both like, right when they realized it was System of a Down, they were like, yeah, System of a Down. No, and we had no clue.
Yeah, it just was not like the style of music we had listened to or like grew up playing at all. But that I think was cool, you know? It was like we've learned so many covers in our lives. Like even when we were busking at Granville Island, we had like 4 sets of covers completely memorized and learned. Like we were learning covers every weekend. So I kind of felt like learning a cover for us at this point is just like, it doesn't take long usually. Like but this was like a challenge because
really
it's
hard.
a really complex song and we'd never heard it before. It was like totally out of our wheelhouse genre wise.
It felt like a school exam. It felt like a math exam or
Well, I
something.
think that's to a point to that too. When you're doing cover songs, it's songs that you can do.
Yeah.
Like you're always going to go to songs you can do because it's in your range and all that stuff, your capability, your ability to play. Where System of a Down wasn't even a band that you heard of, and it's a wild track. There's some yell that goes on.
It's so good. It's such a good
such
song.
a good song though. Like
We were a bit intimidated when we
were
first heard it
intimidated.
though. But honestly, people online were really nice about it. Like the YouTube video, like I guess like I know they say don't read the comments, but I think like maybe a few times I had a bit of wine and I was like, I gotta see what they're saying. And like most of them are so nice. There's like maybe 3. Like, or at the time, I don't know about now, that like were kind of mean. But then like I think our boyfriends would go and like dislike those comments. So you'd end up way at the bottom, and maybe my mom and dad
You
too.
can put up a video of, puppies and you get 3 comments in and someone's going to go, stupid dogs.
Yeah,
You know,
literally.
it doesn't matter what it
literally.
is.
Oh, totally.
I
But
know.
like, but
The trolls.
I expected way worse. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like,
Well, it shouldn't be way worse because it
shouldn't.
was well done.
Thank
So
you.
congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Is anybody requesting you guys play that now live?
Yeah, we have been like all of our shows. We like we always try and throw in one cover, and we used to do the Cranberries' Dreams, but then now we always do Toxicity. And I love the song. Like didn't know it before, but now I just absolutely love it. Love playing it.
Now you're ready to move to Armenia
Yeah.
and be like System of a Down yourself. Are your harmonies natural harmonies, or did you kind of like, were you always in that lane where it was matching up, or did you have to train yourself to get into that zone?
Our dad kind of taught us, I feel like basic harmony, and then I think just the more that we did it, the more we were like comfortable with, like we've just been doing it for so long, and just the more we learn harmonies, the more like natural they come. So now it's like we don't think about it anymore. It's just like we just harmonize.
This
But
is just the way. It's just the way you sing now.
but we like again like started when we were 12, so it's just, I think it's just like anything, time and practice, and now it's second nature. But like there were a lot of formative years of like work to get to that point. So, but now it feels good to like have put that work in younger, and then now feel pretty like good.
Right. It's ingrained.
Yeah.
It's the way things are going to go.
Yeah.
Fionn Band everywhere on social, all kinds of tour dates coming up. Go see the video of you guys doing Toxicity. That's great. And go see you playing it live. I think that would be great. We'll close with this. Have you guys always been twins?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, I thought so. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you for
Thanks
having us.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shed of dreams.